Hi everyone, welcome back. This video is for people who quite literally do not know where to start with skincare. They hear about skincare all the time, it's stressing them out, they read about a million different products, they don't know what they really truly need. And it's for people who, this sounds bad but I don't mean it badly, aren't that bothered about skincare. So it's not an obsession, they just want to tick the box and know that they are doing something good for their skin. They're just covering the bases. We're not talking about targeting specific skincare complaints. It's the absolute basics. So I'm going to take you through what those are. It's stripped bare. And then I'm going to talk through a couple of suggestions of products. And again, because this is aimed at people who, these are people that send me messages or write to me saying, look, I don't know what the hell to do with skincare. I like following you. I like reading about you and your cat and your kids and interiors. But do you know what? When it comes to skincare, I'm not that fussed. I don't want to spend a lot of money. I just want to know that I'm doing something vaguely good. This is for you. So all of the product recommendations I've tried to keep pretty affordable. That's always a relative term, but you know, they're good, great quality products that are the sort of most affordable that I can find that are really effective. So really there are only two steps to this routine. It's cleanse and moisturise. So it's really important that you get rid of the dirt and the grime. I'm assuming that you leave the house. Even if you don't leave the house, your face probably gets dirty. And you probably wear some kind of sunscreen, hopefully, if you are going outdoors, and you probably wear a bit of makeup. And so the most important thing is to get that off. So first step is cleansing. So with cleansing, just do it properly. You need something that you massage on. You've got to think, like if you were washing the dishes, this is a really, really crap analogy, but if you were washing the dishes and you had a plate that had had like a fry up on it, so you've got grease and egg and bacon fat and bits of congealed beans, not on my plates, but you've got all of this stuff, you wouldn't just turn the tap on and hold it under the tap. It just wouldn't do anything. I mean, maybe if it was a boiling tap, it would clean it, but you're not going to do that to your face. You're going to use, this is such a bad analogy, I might have to cut this out, but you know, you're going to use some kind of surfactant to really break up the grease, and then you're going to probably rinse it and then rinse it again, and you're going to use a cloth or a brush or something like that. Do not do that on your face, but my point is that you really need to have that sort of physical action of massaging in to break down the dirt, break down the makeup, and then you can rinse it away or use your flannel. Flannel is better. A great cleansing balm. I really like balms because they melt down and you can really massage them in and you can use them over the eyes and they break up your mascara and waterproof makeup even, and then you can wash it all away. There's a really good one from the Body Shop, which I shall link to. I completely forgot about that one. And then there's this one from Beauty Pie, which is hands down one of the nicest, most luxurious I've ever tried, but isn't ridiculously expensive. I'm not going to go into the whole Beauty Pie model because it's slightly confusing and I get really bored, but I'll link to my post that I did about them and then you can read up. But basically you pay a low price for the product, which is on a par with the luxury products in terms of quality, but then you have a membership fee and delivery on top of that. So you have to work out whether it's right for you, but this one is just sumptuous. Beyond, it's just amazing. So Pixie Rose Cream Cleanser, really, really lovely, very gentle. If you don't like the oily feel of the balm, this one could be slightly nicer, it's very sumptuous. And then if you want a wash, that's what you do. You don't want to faff around. Perhaps you don't actually wear that much makeup, or you're doing a cleanse in the morning and you haven't got loads of stuff to take off. The wash that I would recommend would be the CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser. Now I've got another CeraVe product coming up. I just think it's a really solid brand. It's an American brand. It has been sort of designed for skin that's more on the sensitive or sensitized side. That doesn't mean that people without sensitive skin can't use it. It's just everything's formulated to really treat the skin barrier well. So, you know, the skin is protecting you from the outside elements. A lot of skincare products, or some skincare products, might strip the barrier slightly or leave it slightly weak, and then you get all sorts of problems arising from that. So basically, even with your cleansing, you want to keep your skin just feeling really happy. Okay, so if you're using anything that feels as though you've just washed with washing up liquid, it's not great. You shouldn't feel sort of tight, overstretched or dry or itchy. And then you're on to your second and last step. And depending on whether it's day or night, you will want to choose a different moisturiser. I mean, if you're out in the sun and you're exposed to UV, then just wear a sunscreen because A, skin cancer, and B, it's the #1 thing that's going to age your skin dramatically. So I've just got one recommendation for the sunscreen, two, but I don't have either of them on me, so I'm going to insert here some photos of them. The first, again, CeraVe. They do an SPF 25 broad spectrum, which means that it covers you for the UVA and UVB rays, so the ones that cause aging and the ones that cause burning. And it's just a really elegant sunscreen. So if most of the ones that you've tried have looked chalky or they've left your skin feeling claggy, this one won't do that. It's got a really sort of fine texture and then it feels velvety to the touch once it's on. Remember here that I'm really ignoring the majority of products. I've just picked out a few examples for each stage. So if you're thinking, she's recommended this in the past and why is that not in there? It's because I've literally just whittled it down so that it's easy for people watching who are scared of skincare. So that's an SPF recommendation. If you've got greasier skin, oilier skin, then you might want to look at roche-posay. They do Anthelios range, which is beautiful. And Marks and Spencer's do really good sun care for the face as well. There are loads and loads out there that are affordable. I think it's just a matter of trying some and finding the one that's right for you. But the CeraVe one is absolutely gorgeous. And I think it's about £12. So, you know, as a daily moisturiser, it's really not bad. So for those of you that don't want sunscreen, or you don't need it because it's nighttime, or you're going to layer it on over the top and you're already sorted on that respect, some non-SPF moisturisers for you. Don't wear an SPF overnight. You just don't need to. It's just madness. If you've got oily, stroke sensitive skin, this is brilliant. It's the Toleriane Fluid from La Roche-Posay. It's just a really lightweight moisturiser. If this makes any sense to you, if you're not into your skincare, then well done. So it's hydrating, but it doesn't feel greasy. It's just really, really absolutely lightweight. It's like a fluid like this. So it's hardly even a cream. And you just don't feel like you're wearing any product. Great also for men who don't like the feel of having any product on their skin, or they've got slightly oilier skin maybe. But the hydrating effects of it are really, really long lasting. So you don't get 2 hours into the day and think, oh, my skin feels really sort of thirsty. But if you've got oily skin or combination skin or acne, it doesn't make you feel like you've got a greasy residue on your skin. So that's great. For drier skin or very, very dry skin, Veleda Skin Food. This is Skin Food Light, so this is fine for sort of normal to dry skin. They say it's for oily, but I think they're so potent. It's a beautiful, beautiful face cream, but really potent. So I wouldn't personally really use it on oily. You know, give it a try, see what you think. It's incredibly affordable. This is the Skin Food Light. The Skin Food Original is so... It's honestly like basting yourself with a lovely luxurious lard, basically. So you need to have very, very dry skin. But it's great stuff and great as an overnight mask. And talking of overnight masks, this one has always been a favourite of mine, really long term. It's the Revitalift and it's the cream mask for night. So if you want something that's more of a solid overnight treatment, this is really sort of bouncy and fresh and your skin feels properly moisturised even when you wake up in the morning. So it's a bit of an overnight wonder, but without all of the scary sounding sort of acids and things like that that you might have heard of that you just don't have the capacity to research or be bothered by. That's fair enough. And I meant to say at the beginning of the video, there are so many different steps that you could have to a skincare routine. You know, you've got amazing products that contain vitamin C. You've got salicylic acid that's great for blackheads and spots. And I've done other videos, or maybe I should just go through it all again, seeing that I've been on YouTube for almost 10 years. But there are loads and loads of different ways of treating the skin. This is, as I said at the beginning, the absolute base level. It's totally basic. Sorry, I had to do a bit of a battery change there. Okay, the one thing, so we're talking about ingredients. You've got vitamin C, you've got salicylic acid, you've got hyaluronic acid, you've got glycolic acid, mandelic acid. You've got all these different types of ingredients that all target different things. It can be really confusing. Maybe you don't have the mental energy to even think about those and you just don't want to know. You just want a basic skincare routine that works. That's that. If you're going to add one thing in, and you're sort of mid-20s onwards, I mean, you can use it if you're younger, it's absolutely fine. I just always think, why start too early, you know, like save the big guns for later. The one thing that I would add in would be retinol, just because it's such a multitasking powerhouse of a skincare ingredient. It ticks off everything from tackling sort of skin unevenness, roughness, dullness, fine lines, deeper wrinkles, pigmentation, even to a certain extent, you know, like acne, depending on what kind of formulas we're looking at. And so that would be the one that I would add in, just because it is so broad in its application, if that's the right term. And I just picked one because I think that this one performs as well as products that are multiple times the price. It's very sophisticated. It doesn't make your face fall off. So some retinols are very strong and you might get some kind of redness or irritation. You might get a period of time where your skin's just trying to work out what the hell is going on with it. But this one, I just think the effects are quite sudden, and then the long-term effects are even better. And it's relatively inexpensive. So this is the Indeed Labs and it's the Retinol Reface, and I think it's excellent. They also do some pads that are called the Bakuchiol pads, which I actually did some work with Indeed Labs earlier on in the year for those. And they're sort of like a retinol substitute. So it's an ingredient that behaves like retinol but isn't retinol, so it doesn't have any of the side effects. They are great if you just want a starter product to ease yourself in. So I will link to those in the description below as well. Going back to Beauty Pie, if you can bear me talking about them again, they just do have such good skincare products, and you just need to get your head around the membership system. But they have the Super Retinol range, which is exemplary, I think. And again, you're looking at a formula that behaves in the same way as some of these serums that are sort of £100 plus. And I'm sure they'd probably give the equivalent price of this as something like that. They also do one with vitamin C added in, which is glorious. But because they don't add on anything for marketing and, you know, fancy schmancy packaging and stuff like that, they just do it at sort of cost price. So you pay that plus the membership plus the delivery. So that one is well worth looking at as well. A brand that is doing the basics incredibly well is Dr. Sam's brand, which is Dr. Sam Bunting. And she has just brought out a couple of products. She's got a cleanser, which is amazing. She's got a moisturiser, a nightly serum, which is actually a retinol product, so that's in that camp. And then she has got a sunscreen, which I don't have on me, but all of the products are amazing. And those are the 4 products, and they actually coincide quite nicely with my little, it's not 4 steps, but there are 4 different things that I've shown you here. But ultimately, it's a 2-step routine, really. But again, just in case anyone's thinking this is so bloody basic, this is for the people who write to me and say, where the hell do I start? I'm using Fairy Washing Up Liquid on my face, and I'm following it up with Brute for Men body lotion. This is for you. You'll note that there's no eye cream. I love an eye cream, but for the sake of keeping things simple, all of those moisturisers you can take up and around the eye area. Just be careful, again, with retinol. And you can take them all the way down the neck and onto your chest too, obviously. Make sure you treat those parts, and with your sunscreen, because you more or less have always got these bits exposed as well, unless you live in a turtleneck, which some people do. Nothing wrong with that, especially in winter. You look like a Cluedo character. So that's it. I'll put all of the information below so that you can see it at a glance, and I will link to, I'll do a blog post to go alongside it maybe, so that you can just click through to that to get all the links. Maybe that's a better idea. So thanks for watching. Hope that's helped some of you, and I shall see you next time.